Hello, everyone, and greetings. I'm Reverend Joe. Today, we're going to talk about our principle number one, which is infinite intelligence. And it reads, infinite intelligence is deity, the designing and creating energy for all that exists. Existence is essence, guidance, meaning, and purpose. Now, many spiritualist organizations have principles. We do not have dogma. We do not have rules, regulations, or commandments. In spiritualism, organizations have principles. We look at principles, and that's what we go by, principles. In this principle number one, infinite intelligence, it is all that is, the great I am. This infinite intelligence, this deity, is within us. It is within all else, within every living thing. It is in inanimate objects. Now, we need to think about that for a moment because that is the reality of it all. This infinite intelligence exists on all planets, throughout all galaxies, throughout everything, the many different universes that exist. Now, we know that there must be other existences out there. And this infinite intelligence works through them as well. Therefore, there is this immense interconnectedness that exists. This is why in spiritualism, we believe and know that through this interconnectedness, that this communication with all that is possible. That mediumship is possible. That spiritual healing is possible because we are all interconnected through time and space. Now, for many, it is a difficult concept to understand because ever since they were wee children, they were taught something else through other belief systems that have gone against this. Because in many sacred textbooks, it mentions these things, but they have misinterpreted, have been misguided about these things. Because our interconnectedness does exist. So we have to go back in human history and follow this. We have to follow our human existence and know that this infinite intelligence must exist because it has followed us, has guided us since the beginning. It has always been there in one form or the other. It has been in our consciousness, in our subconsciousness, in our superconsciousness, and we must look at it in all the different aspects. every day. Not what we were taught from when we were children, but as we grew, became adults. We have to look at it in a different context, because we must grow not only physically, we must grow spiritually, we must grow educationally, and we must grow beyond and learn beyond that which was told to us. Not what was given to us, not what was said to be true, but what we learn to be as truth. Because many truths exist that in olden times they did not want you to know, because they feared that you would stray from their teaching, because they wanted to convert you to a certain belief system to control how you behaved, what you believed in, and what you subscribed to for one thing or another, whether to be part of an empire, a country, or a certain belief system. So you would only follow that path, not so you would be creative, have a creative mind, have a creative existence, so you could have your own path, but they wanted you to be stifled, so you would only do what they wanted you to do, learn only what they wanted you to learn, and hold back information. Because the mysteries of the ages are there. There are thousands and thousands of books and texts and sacred belief systems that have information, and they're there for us to look at, to read, and to understand, and to know that we are all interconnected as one. We are one people, one mind, a divine mind. As metaphysicians have been telling us for thousands of years. As the great teachers of the Orient, Persia, Greece, Europe, Middle East, the great teachers have been telling us, but they have been misinterpreted and given to us piece by piece and written in other types of sacred text and other forms of writing to control people's minds. So it is time in the last 100 or so years that it is time for humanity and peoples around the world to begin the understanding of these teachings. And spiritualism and metaphysics has been telling this and teaching us this for a long time now. And that is why this principle of the National Spiritual Alliance of the United States of America says that infinite intelligence is deity, is divine mind, is creativity. That is the creative energy for all. And we must understand this. And it is very, very important, this topic. And that is why, for our organization, it is the first principle that it is important. Because It is existence. It is essence. It is guidance. It has meaning, and it has purpose. Now, what we have to understand also is that there are many interpretations of many belief systems that are already existing everywhere. But in spiritualism, we teach that we believe in all of them. We believe that each one of these other existing systems is okay. We believe them. We teach them. In metaphysics, we say, yes, learn them, understand them, because they all have a just place in our learning, in our development, in the scheme of life. Therefore, anyone, anywhere, can be a spiritualist because we have elements of all the most popular faith-based belief systems incorporated in spiritualism. We have developed out of it over many years, and that's why we call it modern spiritualism, because spiritualism has existed since time immemorial. What we have come to know in the last 100 or so years to have a philosophy, a science, and a religion or a belief system called spiritualism. And we call it modern spiritualism because we have made it contemporary and brought it to more contemporary standards than in the ancient times where it was piecemeal. We know spiritualist ideas and topics were mentioned in all the ancient texts of all the ancient belief systems in all the ancient teachings of the world. Even in the Judeo-Christian Bible, in the Christian Bible, elements of spiritualism and mediumship are mentioned. Spiritual healing and prayer are mentioned through the intervention of spirit. We know this. It is written there. Because through oral tradition, these things were written down in these texts. So, my friends, this is why modern spiritualism calls you to just explore who we are and what we do. And you can remain where you are in your faith progression and still explore who we are and what we do. That is the beauty of modern spiritualism. To understand this teaching, because deity is everywhere in everyone. It is out there in us, in all things. In every cell it exists. That's why infinite intelligence is deity. It is divine mind. It is the greater mind, the great I am. And right now, what I want to do is I want to leave you with something before we close today's program. And before we give an affirmation. And it is a reading from Emmett Fox, the wonderful Emmett Fox, a great metaphysician, the Reverend Emmett Fox. Never hesitate to approach God in prayer because you are not worthy. If we had to wait until we are worthy, no one would ever find salvation because we cannot make ourselves worthy. Turn to God just as you are. And however sinful you may feel yourself to be, God will begin to make you worthy as long as you're turning to Him or her, being contemporary here, or they, is wholehearted. Only God can cancel mistakes and rebuild our lives. The more sense of guilt we may have, the more reason there is for turning to Him or they or her or it. The very fact that you are praying means that God has initiated the prayer, and what thought can be greater than this? And in the book of Isaiah, I'm going to quote this. Ho, everyone that is thirsty, come to ye to the waters, and he that has no money, come to you to buy and eat. And I am going to close with an affirmation and a metaphysical prayer. We know that the divine mind, the all that is working through us, in us, and all around us. We know and we feel, we sense, and we absolutely are happy and delighted that this divine mind is working in us, through us, and all around us today and every day. And because of this, we know that this divine energy is expressing itself outside of us through everyone that we come in contact with. We acknowledge this, we accept it, we are releasing this onto the universe and everyone that comes near us. And for this, we are grateful. We give thanks to this divine mind and this universal infinite intelligence. And it is so, and so it is. And my friends, I wish you and yours the blessings of this divine mind today and every day. So long and be